Carlton has been poor travellers this season, losing all 3 of its interstate matches. In fact, that's been their story for most of this decade, and they come here tonight with plenty of confidence, having already beaten the Lions once in 2009. And congratulations to Santantro helping the big Irishman, 50 games tonight. Brisbane, well, Michael Voss has them up and running. The Lions in 4th spot with a nice blend of experience and youth. And their form with the Gabba is good this year, having won 4 from 5. Both teams as selected. There's the Carlton lineup. Waite's an enormous loss, isn't he?
Yes, and some good additions to the Carlton team. Scotland comes back into the side, Carazzo and Grigg as well. Joseph is holding his place in the side. A first-year player. He'll do a tagging job, probably on Simon Black.
He'll get Brown.
Yeah, I think Thornton did a good job on Brown last time they played. He may well get that role.
They've covered for Pat Fuller-Merritt pretty well the last couple of weeks.
They have, but I still think that Drummond they need to play across half-back. He's probably the best kick in the game at the moment. And maybe young Lockie Henderson, but only a handful of games will play at centre half-back.
And we're underway for Saturday night footy. And we're looking forward to that battle in the ruck between the 2 young guns too, in Mitch Clark and Matthew Cruiser.
It's interesting with Bradshaw playing at full-back. He's kicked 28 goals this season, and Brown's kicked 31, so they rely on Bradshaw a lot up forward.
Here's Chris Judd. And there's the Fisher-McDonald battle. First points, very minor points to Fisher, who kept his footing, but couldn't take the footy with him. It was okay last week when he came back, Rob.
Well, he can take an overhead mark. That's the thing about him. He's the 3rd tall. Our helping playing as a centre half forward, starting there tonight.
3 goals from 14 disposals last week, Brad Fisher, on his return to the Carlton side. Easy winning possessions, certainly not easy early here. McDonald the first to have anything meaningful. And he got the cheers from the crowd, and Jonathan Brown comes out early. So it's Brown against Thornton. Played on him last time and really nullified him, so did a good job. Long ball from Brown to full forward. Brennan has it all before him. As always, he makes it look more difficult perhaps than it was, but the main thing is he's clunked it beautifully, and Brisbane had the opening goal. Sprightly start for the Lions.
He's a great athlete, isn't he?
He is. His recovery was really good, but just the spoil not strong enough to knock it out of his area by Bauer. And we know he can do that sort of thing all night because he can go left side, right side, doesn't matter. One of the most skillful players in the game. He'll relish the challenge of playing as a key forward now that Bradshaw's down the other end.
It wasn't the normal across-your-body kick, though, there. Well, he almost kicked under the ball still. Got extra spin on it, but anyway, it went through.
He's got plenty of tricks, and a good start by Jonathan Brown, the skipper. Thornton playing on Brown. Thornton did a pretty good job on Brown earlier this year. And...
it is a full moon.
A couple of old veterans down there.
It'll be a fascinating battle as we start proceedings again in the middle. Johnston back in the team after being dropped. There's Power. Didn't find a teammate. Coming in is Simpson. He's gang tackled by a couple of Lions and will have a bounce just inside Brisbane's 50.
Henderson lining up at full forward in place of Bradshaw. So they've got Brennan down there, and there's Brennan, Bauer, his opponent, and young Lockie Henderson. He started deep inside the Brisbane forward line.
Brown. Too much on the handball for Power, but mopping up is Sherman, who gave it back to Power, back to Sherman, back to Power. Eventually gets a quick kick, and Brennan in front.
What he's got, Quarters, is long arms, and he gets them up at full stretch, and already a bit of a danger for Bauer.
So surprisingly, he's kicked the 4 goals so far this season, Jared Brennan, but played a bit in the ruck. As he comes in from just outside 50. And is that a mark or is it a point? Clark claims it, but it's through for 1 behind.
So Thornton brings it back into Judd, who instantly plays on. Looked up, didn't see anything immediate, so he went very short, and he's got involved for the 3rd time tonight. after Brandauer helping sneaked away here. Travis Johnston with the pursuit skills. Leaves it for Houlihan. Works it back for Carazzo. Cruz has pushed inside the 50. Back for Houlihan, who moved well playing as a forward last week. Well,
he didn't mean that,
but that's a fluke.
He didn't mean that. That was a left foot mongrel off the boot. Fev just in the right place at the right time. And a terrific 1-2 combination by Judd from deep in the defensive 50. 2 plays to get it into the Carlton forward 50.
So what's the early feeling going to be like for Fev?
Well, he's kicked 31 goals, 27 behinds. So he hasn't really been that accurate.
There's his famous grip on the ball. And now the shot for goal from 40. It's enough. It holds its line. And the Blues get one back.
Beautiful goal assist from Houlihan. Caught Fev by surprise too. He just managed to cling onto the Sharon.
He did in front. He was lucky. And Carazzo getting a touch, Houlihan getting a touch. Carazzo coming back into the Carlton team. Houlihan came back in last week after being dropped. So they'd be happy to get a couple of early touches.
So somewhat lucky goal for the Blues, but Brendan Favola made the most of that opportunity. His form at the Gabba is not good. He's, before tonight, only kicked 9 goals in his last 5 matches here in Brisbane, but he started well tonight. Attacking it is Sherman. Brisbane get the clearance. Comes out to Rich, who just slaps it forward. Lions running in waves. McGrath goes for home. It's a beautiful kick. It's a magnificent goal to Brisbane. That was great stuff. It all started at the centre bounce, and they just ran down in waves, Rob, from half back. And McGrath, beautiful finish. Brisbane gets it second.
And a clever little tap by Daniel Rich, tap to advantage. We'll see it come up here. Ball spills out of the middle. And strength of Sherman. Adcock gets the handball there. Rich knows if he takes possession, he'll get tackled, so he just taps it to advantage. I think in the end, McGrath was looking for someone to kick it to, but the leads all disappeared. And in the end, he had a ping himself.
Here's Fev and McGrath after Fev kicked the goal. Fev maybe not laughing after McGrath kicked that one running up the ground. Some nice goals to start the evening here, 6 minutes in. 2 goals to 1. Grigg tagging Simon Black very closely. Brett Ratton talked through the week about Simon Black and how he'd been trouble for the Blues in the past, and he just looked like he was starting to find his best form late last week, Simon Black. So Brett Ratton putting a few interesting clamps down. Nick Stevens is playing, starting at half forward and pushing up into the midfield. You can see him in the bottom of the screen there. That's Grigg getting it out, but not for long. And this man is so dangerous, Sherman. Long ball inside the 50. Already Brown, a big presence up there. Armfield sneaks in. Well done. Thornton really throwing the ball around, showing it around to everyone. Scotland and Stevens get involved. And the Blues might be clear defensively. Yes, they are, as Garlett comes up to take the mark.
Garlett kicks towards O'Halpin.
Should have marked it.
He's playing game 50. It is very dewy out there, Rob, though. It's very slippery conditions, despite the fact it's been a couple of dry days up here. Gibbs wasn't amongst all that. Comes out to Garlett. Now Houlihan. Back to Gibbs. Long ball for Favola. One out with Bradshaw. Bit of wrestling. Favola nudged Bradshaw out of the way nicely. Can he follow up? He can, but he misses 15 metres out from goal.
He did everything right except kick the goal, Fev. Good body work to take Bradshaw past the footy.
Did all the hard work.
Yeah, and you can just see there, he did a little bit of hip work. Just gets Bradshaw 2 metres off. He'd be disappointed he missed that because the easy bit he mucked up.
Big kick out. Finds McGrath, gives it off to Power. And he goes short and finds Henderson. He gives it to Johnston. Best on ground last week in the reserves for Brisbane, so immediately back into the team. Brown caught out of position. Well done by Thornton.
Yeah, good play by Thornton. Just held Brown out with one hand, let the ball come onto him.
Goes to centre half back to Gibbs. Throwing it around the Blues. Fisher back to Gibbs. And to the wing. Couldn't quite hit the target. McDonald, good pick up. Sherman again. Good handball to McGrath. Kept his feet. Beautiful handball back to McDonald. Brisbane now work it to the 50. Brown can't control it. Brennan plays a bit of soccer. And a throw in.
Fisher just needed to wrap up the arms in his tackle. Went for the body. The arms were freed up.
Looks like Adam Joseph's gone to run Hooper inside the forward 52, Wolsey. They know how dangerous Hooper can be. And Joseph's had the big jobs in recent weeks for Carlton.
I thought Joseph may have taken Black, but they've let Grigg do that. And you're right, Hutto. He's now gone to the dangerous Hooper. And I think that's a good matchup. Here he is now.
Yeah, kicked 4 last week. Work from Black, and there is Hooper getting involved. Under pressure, Henderson got the 360 back for Stiller. Took a bit off the ball, well placed. And finds Riscatelli.
Hampson's tackle didn't stick either. And if they want to see how to tackle the Blues, have a look at St Kilda.
Brennan calling for it long, and now Riscatelli was considering all that, but Brennan in the goal square throws his head back as if to say, I've missed my chance for the big specky over the top, so now I'm going for a lead. Riscatelli can kick a decent footy. Didn't have a big run up. It's a bit in betwixt and in between. Over Hampson's head. They need some help on the last line, the Blues. And they get it Armfield using Brown on the way out. Now Bauer.
Every time Bauer gets it, he handballs backwards.
There's Armfield. And Eddie Betts. His first touch of the evening just come on the ground. So good tight struggle here. And the Lions lead by 4.
Eddie's got to go. Back to Rob's man, Bauer, who handballs forward. It's the Blues switch. Underneath this is Brown.
2 Browns.
And that's Stephen Brown. Short one to Carazzo. He's playing his 3rd match this season.
Brisbane very conscious of Favola. Slow build up this. Brisbane have got numbers back in front of Fev.
Jamison fed it out wide to Stevens, who pops it to Houlihan. So it is a deliberate...
Yeah, and look at the numbers in front of Fev. There's about 3 or 4 in front of him. Mitch Clark's dropped back. So too Drummond. And they'll end up putting it on Fev's head.
And the big men fly. There's about 8 of them.
Yep. Even when Carlton had the ball in their back pocket position, they had clean possession of it. Brisbane were dropping numbers back towards Fev. So I think they realise that if they can keep Fev to a quiet night, they're a good chance to win.
Clark the tap. Shark by McDonald. Good hands. To Stiller. Goes out wide. Finds Polkinghorne. And they run in numbers from half back again. Sherman's having a blinding first quarter. And laconically, Brennan just sticks out the one Duke.
Well, Bauer's in trouble on Brennan. He's playing him from behind.
Just too athletic. We know what a prodigious talent he is. Here's the mark from Brennan.
And have a look where Bauer is, and that ball's got there fairly slowly. Now he's just got to tighten up. He needs a message or two, and he's just got to change his approach, Bauer.
Here he is. He handballs out to Simpson, to Stevens. Nice handball. Back to the run of Simpson. Popped it over the top to Garlett, and that's a beautifully weighted handball to Scotland. Scotland decides to chip to O'Halpin unselfishly, and the big fella in game 50 picks it up. Oh, he's lost his feet. He kept it alive to Eddie Betts, who squeezed the kick out, and it's finished by Houlihan. No, it's not. It's Scotland.
And I'll tell you what, I reckon Scotland thought after he put the kick to Satanta, I wish I had a kick to myself.
No doubt.
He was about 45 metres out. We'll see the build-up. And that is just a rush there by the Brisbane defence. And I just reckon he could have gone back. He can easily kick it from 50 metres, but not a bad fault to try to share it with Satanta. All's well that ends well, Hutto.
Here's another look at this goal. It wasn't exactly beautifully designed, Wolsey, but
I tell
they
you
got
what we underestimate is that skillful little left foot kick by Eddie Betts to set Scotland up.
Yeah, it was good work, wasn't it? Carlton have had 20 more disposals. They've taken the lead. 64 disposals to 46.
And there's Wayne Britton, formerly coach of Carlton. He's a Queenslander, coached Carlton for a few years and coached Brett Ratton. Brett Ratton has a very, very high opinion of him. Said it through the week that with Voss and Britton in the box, it was a bit to coach against.
Brown couldn't hang on. Harding trying to get through to Proud. Here's Rich. He only needed a glimmer of an opportunity and he just couldn't capitalise. He's a prodigious young talent, but he's getting some close attention tonight. Just his first kick of the night.
He better get used to it. He's got another 10 years of it at least, hasn't he?
You would think so.
Oh, there, Jones.
So the margin back to 1. Incidentally, of those, what is now 49 disposals for Brisbane, Sherman's had 10 of them. So really the rest of the Lions haven't had much compared to the Blues, who are making a bit of a meal of this.
I tell you what, Bauer can put his teammates under a bit of pressure there.
Robert's zeroed in on someone, hasn't he?
No, I'm going to get off his back because I don't want you to think that way, Quarters, but I'm just a bit nervous when he's got the ball in his hands at the moment.
On the throw-in. Good hands by Riscatelli, but he's immediately wrapped up. Gibbs is in there working hard. Fed out back to Gibbs, who soccers one to the wing. Here's O'Halpin. Lost his feet again in the end of Banjo line, one out.
I bet they'll be checking his stops at quarter time. Satanta slipped over every time he's gone near it.
It is slippery out there. Well, in the end, Hampson just went up unchecked. Carlton win the clearance. Here's their captain, Favola. Oh, beautiful give back to Judd, who kicks into the pocket and with great skill finds Fisher.
Got to worry in the ruck, Brisbane, because Brennan's doing some ruck work up forward and he's just not competing well enough at the moment. Hampson too easy in that last boundary throw in, and that's the reason why Carlton have got a shot at goal.
Judd up to 6
There
disposals.
it is there. You can see Hampson in front, uncontested, and just not good enough. Judd takes it and set the Blues up.
Fisher finally back in the Carlton team and scoring a point.
Got the footy back. Got it before the signal.
Brisbane have been stunningly accurate during the year. More about that later. They're on 2-2-14. Carlton at 2-5-17.
And the kick-in finds Black. Oh, it's an un-Black-like kick. That's out on the full. Stevens will take the kick. And the lead's on from Favola. Sure where Bradshaw was, but Favola's got it. And he's not without a chance.
Absolutely not. Certainly not looking to pass it off. Anyway,
Yeah, and there's Judd, and he's tagged for the night. And Stiller has gone every step of the way with him.
See, the way Judd took that ball at full pace before, though, Wolsey, it is amazing, isn't it? He's a terrific player.
Brendan Favola. He's got one.
About shot number 4, Quarters.
And you don't mind him having a ping from here. Kicks through the ball. He's kicked to the tip of the goal square. A bit of shake of the head.
Don't hold it.
But he's getting his hands on the football. Throw in an opportunity here for Carlton. Cruiser got his hand on it. Couldn't find a teammate. Clark follows up, nodding under the pump. Great tackle by Favola. O'Halpin tries to hack it out of midair unsuccessfully. And now it spills to Adcock, who goes for Rich. Beautiful kick. And Rich will want to play on straight away. And there's not a lot on offer, though. Just pauses for the moment. And goes down the line. And again, the kick's good. It finds Polkinghorne. He kicks beautifully to Brown. So good use of the football by Brisbane, not wasting it. Brown, that's a poor kick. There you go.
And good work by Stevens to get back and fill the hole.
Until then, it was all good for Brisbane. Now Carlton.
Well, he's got nowhere to go, Gibbs. Gee, he's a good player. He doesn't panic. He keeps hold of the footy till he thinks he can get an effective disposal.
He's had 10 of them already, Rob.
Yeah, he's been really good for them.
Houlihan, there's Gibbs. We just saw Houlihan and Drummond. He looks like Houlihan not only playing as a half forward, but really watching Drummond closely. There's another example of those uncontested possessions. Drummond yet to have a touch for Brisbane. We know they like to get the ball in his hands.
Well, Drummond's such an effective long kick. He's an 80-metre player. And I guess the good thing for Carlton is that their top liners, Judd, Stevens, Gibbs, are all playing well at the moment.
High one. O'Halpin has to go, nodding with him all the way there. And the throw in. So some prodding at either end, but no key forward really dominating. It's been hard to find clean space, although as we've mentioned, Fev's had quite a few shots for goal. Cruiser over the top, Riscatelli. Harding, instant movement, there's Stiller. Drew some high contact. The umpire must have thought he ducked his head there.
This is a rule I really like over the last month. They're not paying free kicks to people that duck their heads, and I reckon it's been a massive improvement in the umpiring the last month.
Yeah,
you duck your head, you're not going to get the kick, and I think that's great.
Free kicks all over have been down in the last few weeks. As long as they stay consistent with that, that's fine.
As long as one weekend we don't just suddenly find they're paying them again. Out of bounds on the full.
They've really let it go the last month.
No,
it's been great.
Made for great footy. McDonald along the line, just enough distance for Black, who's had the clamps put on him so far tonight.
Tackle where the ball is. Scotty, your kick. Wait, this kick. Hey, your kick.
Free kick.
Downfield, free kick to Mark Murphy against Travis Johnson.
There's the explanation. Could be a costly one. Sets it up.
Jono, that was against you.
Fisher at the back. McGrath was onto it.
Gee, a nice long strong spoil by McGrath. Gets the pats on the back from his teammates. And I reckon they would have practiced that a lot through the week, the Brisbane defence. A lot of ball coming into Favola and the pack jumping. There's McGrath wearing fast Eddie, pretty tight.
Bradshaw on hands and knees. Great handball for Vola. Oh, it's tough in the clinches at the moment. It's a real old-fashioned arm wrestle out there.
And the umps will let it go, Quarters.
Socket off the ground by Adcock unsuccessfully. Luckily for Brisbane, it fell into the hands of Rich. He got it over to McDonald, who kicks to Brown, who's a long way from goal. Thornton did well, stood his ground and slapped it over the line. It's 14 plays 17. That's the Blues in front by 3 points. There's Thornton, good solid defence.
Carlton winning the hit-outs at this stage, and Cruiser really working hard to be in front at every contest.
Power to Clark to Black, who kicks again in the Brown direction. Chopping in was Scotland.
I like the courage of Scotland.
Yeah, it was a good effort, and he switches out wide. Finds Stevens, who goes to the wing and presenting well as Garlett. Carlton, just even though they're not dominating on the scoreboard, they just look the better team at the moment. There's Bauer. Another possession for him. He goes to half forward. Houlihan flew. Back of the pack, Judd. What can he weave here? He keeps the ball alive to Favola. Quick kick to the goal square. Bennett! Off the ground. It's hit the woodwork.
I was going to say it would have been the most amazing bit of play you've seen, because Judd willed himself to get it. He was going 100 mile per hour when he got the handball to Fev. He miraculously put it over his shoulder into the goal square, and Fast Eddie's hit the stick.
And the full-back McGrath has stood on the line, and Fev quite happy to give him the explanation as to what happened. He's pushing it, Fev.
I don't know, those two are mates or not, but they're having a good time together.
They must be. Bounce at the top of the square. Cruiser, Clark, Simon Black. McGrath just wades his way through a little too casually. Betts putting the clamps on. Clever from Johnston, back to Black. And again Simon Black. And eases the kick to Hooper on the bounce. Armfield gets involved. Rich just got away. A fumble from Black that time. He kept it moving. Acrobatics from Simpson. Game starting just to hot up. Not much room out there for anyone. Blues leading by 4. Here's McGrath. His foot on the line. Cruiser and Clark again. Oh, the umpire got some contact from Luke Power there.
Luke's just thinking, 1750.
You heard the sound effects from the umpire.
Gee, it was a good tackle by Grigg on Black. As soon as Black took possession, he was wrapped up by Grigg.
He's not getting any room to move, Simon Black. He's now had 8 disposals, but a lot of those have been little handballs. Here's Travis Johnston. The Blues usually tag him closely. Came back after a week's penance. Here's a great disposal. There's Bauer and Armfield and Thornton.
No worries.
They swing into action, and Nick Stevens has found plenty of space tonight already.
He chips into the middle. His kick finds Murphy. He keeps the ball moving. As Grigg puts it inside 50. Bradshaw does the spoiling. Front and centre with Sheldon to Rich to Black. And the Lions now away. Marked by Henderson. Brown's one out, but he goes the shorter option to Power. And it's a free kick against Bauer. Good call. No doubt about that. Chop the arms and he goes to Brown, but it's a poor kick. And it's chopped off by Bauer, who's having plenty of a rod. That's his 11th disposal.
He did well to get back there. The free kick was against Bauer, but he told a teammate, you guard the mark and I'll get back and fill that hole. Simpson, game number 98 for Carlton, and this year has been in their best half dozen.
Puts it in neutral for a while, and now finds Eddie Betts. Just been down on form a little the last couple of weeks, Eddie. He's averaging 2 goals 5 a game this year, but his last couple of weeks have been quiet. Started on the bench tonight. This is Heath Scotland. He's also had a couple of weeks off. 2 lots of 2 games off this year. The latest through concussion and a hip injury. Murphy away from Proud. Nice delivery into the 50, and Simpson, not sure who was on him there, but they weren't close enough.
Well, it's been an interesting, there's Mark Murphy in picture there. He and Luke Power have gone head-to-head in this first quarter. Luke Power is an absolute star, and you can see him being consoled by his teammate, and Murphy is becoming one. So that's a terrific matchup.
So the Blues lead by 4. Plus how many? Oh, look at that. Nice handy lead for Carlton to take to the break. Simpson delivers a goal after the siren. They lead by 10 points here at the Gabba. Big challenge for Jonathan Brown and his Lions on Saturday Night Football.
There's Daniel Merritt in picture there. He's a big burly fella at full back, got super pace. Stevens enjoying himself on the wing and at half back. They switch a lot of play through Stevens when they bring the ball out of their defensive 50. You see Ryan Hooper, I don't think he's happy with the treatment that he's getting. Well, son, get used to it, because if you're going to keep kicking 2 and 3 goals every game, you're going to get a tight tag.
We start the second term. It's Carlton in front by 10 points.
Hooper's had just 1 disposal in the first quarter.
Blues have Fev in the forward 50. Eddie Betts behind him, Halpin in the 50, and Fisher. So a 4-man forward line at the moment for Carlton.
Free kick to Black for a hole.
I'd be even tempted to make it a 2-man forward line, Eddie Betts and Fev, and just give this fella all the space. Now he's staying inside the forward 50 in the last week or 2, which is terrific. No more of that silly kick chasing up around the wings and half back.
Black just pops it up. Almost a mark to Clark. Riscatelli in traffic. And there's only one player there, and it's a Carlton man. And it is Simpson, who kicks to Fisher. Well, it's been a dour contest so far, but just the Blues look like to have just a bit more run, a bit more class in the midfield.
They're controlling the ball, aren't they?
Yeah.
Finding an avenue to goal is another question.
Grigg finds Scotland out wide to Bauer. He's been busy. Now he goes long, looking for Favola. Beautifully nudged out by Bradshaw.
Free kick.
Oh, hands in the back.
I'd love to see this again, because Fev virtually stopped halfway through the contest.
Yeah, still hands in the back, mate. Not allowed to put him there.
Hands in the back. The hand brushed the back. It wouldn't have squashed the fly.
Soft.
Wouldn't have squashed the fly. I know it's the rule, and I'm not arguing against it, but...
he didn't so much push him, he just braced himself as Favola stopped.
The rule is hands in the back, Steve.
His hand touched his back.
How long does it take you to learn the rule?
I don't like it. Favola.
There is a football god.
Took the words right out of my mouth, Rob.
Well, you've got to earn a kick, don't you?
Yeah.
Anyway.
So McGrath does the kicking in.
Crowd trying to get lift the Lions here quarters with a bit of a chant.
Notting to Sheldon. There's been a fairly flat crowd so far. And a lot to cheer about. Favola.
Yeah, and there's Bradshaw in the back line, the go-to man inside 50 for the Brisbane Lions. You can just see Brown 5 times just dominating. He's the focus. Brett Ratton would be aware of all of those statistics, so he'd have players putting the squeeze, other players putting the squeeze on Brown.
Chris Judd has it put it out on the full? No, it's off hands for a throw in. Well, Henderson's probably the man that could do the job, you know, size-wise on Favola.
Well, in the end, Vossi has to decide whether he's going to roll the dice or not. Fev's only kicked the 1 goal, but he could have kicked 4 or 5 with the opportunities that he's had.
It's more what they don't have at the other end, isn't it?
Mm.
And they're the decisions that they're paid the big bucks for, Hutto. Vossi be thinking about it. What am I going to do? Am I going to swing Bradshaw back into the forward line? Have a 2-pronged attack? If I do that, maybe I expose our defence and Fev runs right, kicks a couple of goals. Carlton get their tail up in a low-scoring game. And everyone will think I'm a dill.
Brown pumps it back inside 50. Oh, Favola, too good for Bradshaw.
And the thing
right,
is,
he's had plenty of opportunities, hasn't he?
if Fev, and he could have kicked 4 by now, but if Fev, say, gets another couple of goals,
50. That's going to help.
well, this is a certainty now. But if Fev gets another 2 or 3 goals, you've got nothing to lose by
he's not
putting
winning
Bradshaw,
anyway.
the decision's made for you.
It's just who do you put on him? That's the tough decision.
So 50 against McGrath for running through the mark. Favola will kick his second, and Carlton will lead by 17.
And as we said, you know, Drummond's injured, no Patfull and Merritt. Take Bradshaw out. It really is a thin back line then.
So 2 goals, 2 to Brendan Favola. It's Carlton by 17 points as Brendan gets involved in the Brisbane discussion. So how long will Brisbane persist with Bradshaw as McGrath runs straight through the mark? There you see it. Lapse in concentration, and Carlton have a very handy 17-point buffer. Hampson having a spell on the ruck. As the Lions work it forward. Here's Brown again against Thornton. Brown follows up nicely to Brennan, who stabs the kick magnificently. He just stabbed at that. He's kicked his second. He just conjured something out of nothing.
Let's not underestimate the effort of Jonathan Brown to trap the footy with one hand, brings it to the front, and then flips the handball to Brennan. And it was a terrific snapshot, but the work of Brown, absolutely first rate.
Well done, Brown. Well done, Bradshaw. Brisbane's first goal in 36 minutes.
And have a look at Brown. Body work, left hand, keep the ball in front, protect the footy, get the quick hands to Jared Brennan. He finishes off. Excellent bit of play by the Brisbane captain.
Lions controlling the footy. They were going the wrong way, though, so the turnover made it extra dangerous. Greg Betts just couldn't reel it in. Under pressure, Henderson straight into Judd. Blues lock it inside 50. Interesting to hear the instructions from Favola.
Except him.
Yeah. Forwards out, leave some room for me. He's away from the square at the moment. Seen Houlihan sending it into O'Halpin, the big Irishman in his 50th. He's worked out what to do after 50 games. It's a goal.
Favola gave a few instructions. Juddy gets the handball, and up his alley, the kick, Hutto. He likes to have a bit of a flying kick at the footy. That's the old Irish game coming to the fore. And you can see Fev getting into the young Brisbane player there.
Unlike Fev to be playing something up for all it's worth and being the centre of attention, but the Blues are smiling. Helping in his 50th. Terrific article today in the Herald Sun in Melbourne about the battles of Satanta O'Halpin. Had his injury worries. They couldn't work out what the problem was. They fixed him up, and after his early dramas with Cameron Cloke, he's back in the team, and he's kicked a goal in his 50th. And so the Blues up and about tonight. Garlett missed his moment there. This is Sheldon, a son of a former Blue champion in Kenny Sheldon.
Oh, he's gone.
Oh, he's in trouble, Riscatelli. No, that interpretation's another one that they
didn't drag it in. You're holding that in. Thanks, Bev. Let him up. Let him up. Let him
just
go now.
being a little bit more lenient with his little rumble in the goal square after the last goal. Hampson. Scotland and Murphy contrived to take it over the boundary line. Everyone's falling down here, looking for free kicks.
Favola playing a bit further up at the moment, and O'Halpin down in the goal square. And he's on the inexperienced Lockie Henderson.
No room for Rich tonight.
Just the 5 so far, Anthony.
Yep.
And there's O'Halpin, top of the goal square. Henderson, his opponent.
And Fisher's also in the 50, but Fev's...
Well, Fev's got himself involved in the game, Hutto, which I think's really good. He's got fired up. He's got plenty to say. He's getting a few kicks.
Gibbs with the rainmaker to full forward. Again, the pushing and shoving. Fisher cops some friendly fire. Murphy. Fisher recovers in time to jag it on the left boot and does it in grand style. And the Blues are on fire at the Gabba. .23 points the difference now.
Well, the thing you like about it, they haven't got 5 or 6 forwards inside the forward 50. There's only been 2 or 3, so when the ball comes in like that, they've got a wave of Carlton midfielders running towards goal. And a quick handball sets a teammate up. That was a brilliant snapshot by Fisher. I reckon the message to Fev would be a positive one. About you're involved in the game, you're giving us plenty of aggression in that forward 50. The opposition are worried about you. Well done.
Yeah, it's been excellent. Carlton doing the business there in front by nigh on 4 goals. And they get the clearance again as Armfield gives it off to the run of Carazzo, who doubles back somewhat. Handball out to Scotland, and now the Blues have turned it over. Johnston nodding. Adcock trying to be a bit too clever. Scotland again. Inside 50. There's no Favola in there at the moment. He's having a rest. McGrath sweeps it to Power, who gives it to Black right in the middle of the Gabba. Has a bounce and drills the pass to Brennan. That is a magnificent effort to smother by Jamison or to spoil, but Brennan is still good enough to pick it up and kick his 3rd goal. Again, he's conjured something out of nothing.
The thing about Jared Brennan, he never makes it look simple, does he? The 3 goals that he's got are all pretty special. Angles the ball across the body. Left foot, right foot, doesn't matter. He's a talent. And I think Vossi's probably learned something in the last 10 minutes, and that is Brown's your target, but also keep this fella close to goal, because when he's close to goal, things happen.
Three goals to Jared Brennan. It was a beautiful spoil from Jamieson, but Brennan straight to the feet. And again, somehow has made something out of nothing. 3 goals, and he's keeping Brisbane in the game. It's Carlton by 17.
And all 4 of their goals have come from general play, so the Lions haven't been able to take a mark or a free kick and have a set shot and convert. Brown was getting some serious heat again. Now they might get a chance here. Brennan again gets clear. Let's see what he does with this one. Again, he made it look tough, but he can do just about anything he's got for.
Again, Jonathan Brown features. He was the one who got in front and got the ball out to midfielders coming forward, who in turn got it down to Brennan to show us his tricks. And this is the man of the moment. You just don't know what he's going to do. Is he going to kick? Is he going to handball? Will he go on his right side, his left side? He's got all the tricks in the world.
Well, the game is in great shape at the moment.
Yeah.
You got guys like Franklin and Rioli and Motlop and Betts. You can add Brennan to that list. Just can do the miraculous. It's great for the game. He's got 4 goals.
And Brisbane have got 2 players who are in the goal umpire's pocket. That's how deep they're playing. And Carlton's got 2 players around Jonathan Brown, who's been really dangerous because he just presents so well.
Carlton's lead cut back to 11. It's Murphy. And finds Favola on a strong, hard lead.
Well, we've got forwards at either end of the ground that are exciting us, and you can see the Carlton supporter in the background there just explaining how Fev took that mark, juggled it overhead. Mark Murphy in fine form.
So it was a good kick, wasn't it?
Yeah, a bit of head and hand there to take control of it. And we've got a show being put on by Fev at one end and Jared Brennan at the other. Jonathan Brown, a nice support act.
Favola for his 3rd. So his haul so far has been 2 goals, 3. But he's playing well. It's Carlton by 2 straight goals.
There's 2 goals from Brennan. They have Brisbane right back in this contest.
And the 2 goals by Brennan take a bit of the heat off Michael Voss. He doesn't have to worry about Bradshaw at the moment. He can keep him at full back on Fev.
All right, the Lions locked in by medium zone from the Blues. 15 men involved in covering all this space. And it took surely an illegal act. Yes, it was, by McGrath.
Courageous by Fev. He knew the man behind was coming. He knew the man behind had to sit, so he was prepared to back and take the hit. Well done.
Not a realistic attempt, I guess you'd say, by McGrath. Now, Fev's probably about 2 metres away from being within range here. If he really got onto it, it gets beyond even him. Let's see what they've got down there for marking power. Cruiser and O'Halpin are the long options. Fev's going the top, and it's a mongrel, and it might fall for Murphy. No, Lions read it well. Clark with a well-timed fist. Could have been too high, but umpire let it go. The Lions don't have trouble, though. Favola. Simpson missed his moment. Harding. Blind handball. Jamieson onto it. Carazzo. Murphy. Crunch. And is it holding the ball? No, it's not.
Gee, it was a nice
Sheldon, I think,
hospital handball, wasn't it?
And things getting a little bit frayed around the edges here. Temper starting just to flare a little. Sherman. Hooper tries to get in. Rich. At the bottom of all the action there, the bottom of the pack. You can see the angst between Travis Johnson and Carazzo.
Each team with an extra man in defence. Henderson for Brisbane, Jamieson for Carlton.
This is what we like to see. Things getting narky.
I'd like to see Travis Johnson get narky.
Tackle count this quarter, 12-7 in favour of the Lions as Travis Johnson comes off just to cool the head.
Yes, and good to see him fired up. I reckon that's the best beard in AFL at the moment.
Oh, turn it up.
Oh,
The bloke that plays for the Bulldogs.
Hudson.
Yeah, that's 10 times better. Hutto?
Well, I don't know if you know anything about beards, Quarters.
No, I don't. Then they go to the pocket, the Lions, and Brown's marked.
I certainly don't, Wolsey.
Did you shave yet?
Good on you.
And don't they love this situation? A one-on-one with Jonathan Brown running back with the flight of the footy. And that is just a fantastic kick by Michael Rischitelli to set the skipper up.
So Jonathan Brown from a difficult angle. So far he's had 8 disposals. This to make it 6 points the diff. Second behind this quarter to Jonathan Brown. Carlton 45 lead Brisbane 34 by 11. And Stevens brings it back in. Finds Armfield.
Who gives to Thornton. High one for the wing. Murphy. Adcock did all the hard work then, but just didn't drag the mark in. Adcock been pretty solid again, averaging 20 disposals this year. Season high 30 last week for Jed Adcock. Had 10 tonight.
Carlton winning the hit-outs, but Brisbane winning the clearances in this game.
Joseph just took a moment too long and a step too many. Black, speculative, but Rischitelli was the intention. Gibbs there to wrap him up. And I reckon that might be the last time we hear the umpires say settle down.
Yeah, and women's round quarters, what percentage of the fans are women?
40?
43.
43. And
isn't that fantastic?
TV audience is 41, wasn't it?
Yeah, our game is enjoyed by women, young and old, which is great.
And 40% of members are women.
Yes, and what percentage of what club? There are more women, or almost as many women as men. And, you know, you're enjoying this, Hutto.
Hawthorn.
I think it's Sydney.
Oh, okay.
Free kick here, Bryce Gibbs. Do not give him one in the stomach. No, you got him in the stomach. So, do it again.
Well, Travis Johnson's lost the plot here the last couple of minutes. Nothing too serious, but he's given away a free kick. That won't please Michael Voss.
Mine, mate, mine.
Armfield. To Grigg, back to Armfield. And he keeps working, so he's created something here for his team. Scotland's handball had a bit too much heat on it. Mopping up is Fisher. Now Joseph. And he's missed. But it was a nice build-up from the Blues.
Yeah, they ran in numbers, didn't they? The handballs weren't all that accurate. And let's have a look at Johnson there. He's just given a little bit of a tummy whack to Bryce Gibbs. Nothing in it, but the umpire thought we'll give a free kick.
Let's turn the mobile off, Quarters.
It's not mine. It's not mine.
Nodding. Start texting. To Stiller. Takes the mark, gets it back to Henderson. It's not Wolsey, he doesn't know how to use it.
It's not mine.
He just read his first email in his life during the week. Clark off to McDonald. Now Bradshaw. Does he run off Favola here? Judd confronts him, but not before the kick was already spinning beautifully for Jonathan Brown. Now, a margin at 12. We're closing in on half-time. The Blues look to be in control. It's a vacant goal square if he happens to be tempted.
He fancies himself the big fella from around the 50-55 mark. He's kicked plenty of goals from that distance.
He kicked the Big Ten up here against Carlton a couple of years ago too, when Dennis Pagan's days as Carlton coach were coming to a close, and he kicked one not from all that far away from here, but this time he can't get it online.
3 points this quarter to Jonathan Brown.
So Favola's got 2 goals, 3. Jonathan Brown's got 3 behinds.
And there's Ryan Hooper, who's had 1 disposal for the half.
Adam Joseph done it again. Did a great job on Daniel Kerr in the midfield last week, restricting him to basically handballs only.
Mark taken by Thornton. who is #1 in the AFL in marks.
Gee, they square the ball to Gibbs at least half a dozen times a game, the Blues.
Scotland. Oh, just released a handball, but Brisbane have the numbers. But fortunately for Carlton, they might get out of this. Gibbs to Scotland, and the Blues do get out of jail. Now Judd with some run off half back. Kicks to Favola. Beautiful delivery.
You know, that was a brilliant kick, and the reason why he pulled the kick and just let it float a little bit in front of Fev so he could run onto it. He didn't drill it because he knew Fev had a guy on his tail. He didn't want the ball to hit him too hard too early. He just held back on the kick so he could run into it.
You could see there was a Brisbane player in front as well as on the sidewalls, so there was just had to place it perfectly for him, didn't he?
So Favola for his third. Oh, that's a better kick. That's a beauty. 3 goals to Favola. And rightly so, goes up and pats his captain on the scon. Beautifully set up by Chris Judd against the tighter play, that one too.
And again, we'll have a look at Judd. He just pulls the kick, puts a bit of altitude in it to let Fev run onto the footy.
I've just kicked my third, but don't tell anyone. Brendan Favola.
And there's the man who set it up. He's Carlton's #1 assist player, #1 clearance player, #1 hard ball gets, #1 loose ball gets, #1 tackles. Do I need to say any more? There he goes again.
#1 contested in the AFL. Gibbs' kick into the 50, not so good. And the mark taken by Jed Adcock.
Bought my little granddaughter a Carlton jumper this week, boys. Guess what number's on the back?
Number 18, Paul Bauer.
32, Brett Thornton.
No. 5.
McDonald kicks it out. And the mark is taken by Notting. Down to Bill.
Lions are going to have to get back into this match without their key defender there, Josh Drummond. He's just sitting in the back of the dugout at the moment. Doesn't look like he's going to get back on, just spectating at the minute with that calf injury.
And that makes it even more reason, Bill, why this man with the footy needs to stay in the back half. Playing game number 212.
Drummond off at the 23-minute mark of the first quarter and has not returned. So the Lions with plenty of thinking to do at half-time. They were the favourites coming in tonight. Carlton, though, with one of their best teams in for the year, were confident, and that confidence has been well placed, judging by the scoreline at half-time. Judd going to run out of time here as the Blues through Carazzo. We're going to have one more shot at goal, and wouldn't you know it, the kick went right through the middle, but unfortunately it was too late. Nonetheless, they lead by 17 at the half, Wolsey.
They do, and they're in front just about everything with shots at goal, clearances, hit-outs, inside 50s.
As we start this third quarter, it's Carlton by 17, Rob.
Yes, and Daniel Bradshaw's gone forward. That's the big move made at half-time. We wondered whether Michael Voss would make the move. He's decided that he has to win the game, so he's put his gun forward up there. And you can see that Brendan Favola has a new opponent, and that is Joel McDonald. So this will be interesting to see how Fev responds and how the Brisbane forward line responds.
And Carlton win the clearance. Oh, big call.
And it's an immediate victory to the Blues. Fev has been held in the goal square off the ball by Joel McDonald, and Vossi, the coach, will be filthy that that's happened.
So Favola kicks his fourth, and I reckon he's going to let McDonald know about it.
Brendan, another free, leave it there. Ash!
So a big moment in this game,
Come on.
in the opening minute of this third quarter. Here's the incident, and just a little bit of a hole on Favola's arm. The umpire spotted it.
Yes, and
sucked in.
I guess that's as simple as it is, Quarters. He's just sucked him in. And Michael Voss will be filthy. There's Bradshaw up the other end of the ground. There's Ran Hooper, number 33. He's had one disposal in the first half, so he's an angry, frustrated man. Jamieson going to play on Bradshaw. Joseph's done a sterling job on Hooper, the number 45 for Carlton. He gets the number 1 tight tagging job each week and doing it really well in the last month.
So the margin set back at 23 as Brown controls it. Sheldon versus Stevens. Nick Stevens, his numbers have been pretty consistent as we watch Vossi just pondering what's to come. 23 disposals on average, having more handballs than previous years, Nick Stevens. 12 kicks and 11 handballs per game, whereas previously generally 2 kicks to 1 handball. Such as, I guess, most of the change in most of the teams in the modern game.
Grigg tagging Black again. That's how it started. It looks like Sheldon might have been given the job on Judd in this second half. Stiller did it for the majority of the first half.
Might still be Stiller, actually. Looking at that,
he's gone back after him. Here's a tackle to hurt.
Proud. He's only had 3 disposals. Hooper 1, as we mentioned, and Drummond none. So at the bottom end, the Lions not getting enough, really. They sort their way through here, but no real rhythm and fluency about it. Polkinghorne's another one who's had a quiet night, only 4 touches. Travis Johnston, Daniel Rich and Scott Harding.
There's Rich. He's only had the 5 disposals in the first half. Travis Johnson just 6. So that's a player short. The combination of those two, they are really letting the team down at the moment. Have a look at that for a trick.
The positive.
He's had the one-hand take and then the one-hand touch on the ground.
The positive is there's room for improvement with the Lions.
Yep. And Jared Brennan putting on a one-man show up here at the Gabba. There's the one hand caress. Look, just caress the football. That's pretty special. And then with the opposite hand touches it, and then he puts it to the advantage side of his captain.
One with one hand, one with the other. Now Jonathan Brown has yet to kick a goal tonight. Surely this time, when his side needs it most, Jonathan Brown can get the kicking boot on. No. 4 behinds. Margin at 22. Oh, Hooper made the right time to make a contribution. Kept it alive here for the Lions. Bradshaw, Grigg, just call out a kick, Judd. I had insurance out the back, and all the Blues boys said, we'll leave it for you, Chris. The kicks to O'Help and not incoming just at the right moment for the Lions. They know that they have to dig deep right now and not let the Blues get away. There's Fev on his own with McDonald, what, a fair way ahead of him there, Rob?
Yeah, but I like that because a month ago Fev would have been down on the wing. He's under instructions to hold his position, and if his opponent goes off him, well, stay back there. A bit of Russian roulette. If it comes off, your opponent certainly won't give you that latitude again.
Gibbs did well, fed it out. Now Cruiser kicks to half forward. Opportunity for Fisher. If he can pick it up, he can, and it's a good handball to O'Halpin. And he stabs it to Favola. Well worked by the Blues.
And that's the advantage of the big full forward holding his position. Now let's have a look at his grip. His grip of the football has changed over the years. 99, we're going back 10 years ago, both hands equal distance down the football, and then we're seeing the left hand creep up high in 2005.
Forget about the
left hand.
Forget about the hand. What about the hairstyles?
Yeah, but he's got an unusual grip. There should be more of an even side of the ball with the 2 hands, but it doesn't matter, does it?
4 goals to, in fact, make it 5.
Without fail, every time you mention that, Wolsey, he kicks the goal, I reckon.
Well, I know, Hutto. That's why I mentioned it a lot. Now, look, you have to say that this year he hasn't kicked as accurately as he has in the past. Going into this game, he was 31 goals, 27 behinds. But tonight, he's been able to put 5 through and 3 behinds.
goals, 3 to Brendan Favola. We said the Blues were going to win. He'd have to have a big night, and he's producing that and some at the moment.
He's now the leading goal kicker, I think, in the AFL too. Gone ahead of Nick Revolt and the others. He's in his 11th season at Carlton. Favola. Brennan trying to get it to Bradshaw, who needs to fire from the other end. Jamison's his opponent. There was a bit of holding on Simon Black there, not spotted by the umpire. And now Hooper's given away the free, and Hooper is a frustrated man, as you mentioned, Wolsey. And Adam Joseph is just racking up victims at the moment. Very short AFL career. Great rookie selection by Wayne Hughes and the recruiting team at Carlton. Black and Brennan. There he is again, playing a bit of basketball.
Just corralling the Carlton players, Gibbs and Cruiser, just corralling, and they'd be happy with that result. Forced Brisbane to go backwards. They didn't overcommit, Gibbs or Cruiser, to let a Brisbane player slip past them.
And Notting. Henderson again. Brown swirling from one side to the other. It's not going to be easy to mark. He's got the superior strength, and that is what wins out. He couldn't get around him. Really wasn't a great kick for Jonathan Brown to mark, but he just knew how to use his body. And that's why they're still in this game, aren't they, Brisbane?
But you're right, they need the lesser lights to do something.
Yep.
Well, Jonathan Brown yet to kick a goal. 4 behinds on the board, so he's due. And let's have a look at his grip and see both hands pretty much equal distance down the ball.
Spins it around a bit, doesn't he, as he comes in to kick, gets him relaxed, and finally gets the result he was after, and the Lions still in it.
And just too strong position. Just a little bit of a bump on Thornton.
Not much Thornton did wrong there, really.
No, that's right. He's just too good.
Desperately needed goal for the Lions. They cut the deficit back to 22. Brown's first for the night. He's got 1 goal, 4.
Knock it out.
Stevens threaded it through towards Scotland. Sherman's been quiet since that ripping start. Now Rich needs to lift. Gets to possession inside 50. Bradshaw. Will he soccer off the ground? He tries.
Good play by Joseph to support the big man. And Joseph been playing on Ryan Hooper in picture there. Hooper hasn't been in for a centre bounce, and that's the next step, and it might take a couple of years, but you're going to have some pretty lean days playing in that forward pocket. He needs to be able to take his turn in the midfield.
Sherman Bradshaw has manufactured the goal.
Strength of Sherman coming through. And clever play by Daniel Bradshaw.
Sherman had what? He had 11 at quarter time, and only 3 since. But that was a telling disposal.
The positive for Brisbane with their last 2 goals is that they've been one-on-ones. Sherman comes through like a tank, gets the kick to the goal square, and just the strength and the poise of Bradshaw in the one-on-one against Jamison, and just before that Brown in the one-on-one against Thornton. 2 good victories to Brisbane.
So Brennan running around in the ruck. He's had, I think, 7 disposals in the quarter. 15 for the night to go with his 4 goals won. There's Grigg and Black still paired off. Judd
Tackle, Chris Judd.
carrying a big load.
Tackle over his shoulder.
Interesting call.
No, Jared, you come over the top, over his shoulder.
So Chris Judd
Play on.
trots off just so he can get it a bit deeper. The Irishman's coming. There's a whistle early.
He's going to give it against Simpson for a bump just before the ball arrived.
It was too early. It was too early, though.
You can hear the dispute.
Simo there.
Luke Power not a massive influence tonight either. Just 12 disposals.
There's Stiller,
Yep.
Judd's opponent.
Feeds in to get it back. Brown hitting it hard. Now Bradshaw's deep with Hooper, ready to go with him. And here comes Bradshaw, 1-on-1. He got clear. Good spoil from Jamison. And they're away now. Up and under kick out to the win from Carazzo. Helping. Waiting for Murphy to get clear.
Couple back in front of Fev, so they stall.
Yep, confronted by 3 or 4 Brisbane players, and hence, as you mentioned, Wolsey, this is what Carlton are doing, waiting and coming in from a different angle, perhaps. Waiting until they got some further reinforcement, the Blues, and that's well worked with Simpson. Would expect him to probably mark, but Brown's going to give the delivery to Fev, and they get there eventually. Well worked.
Yeah, you'd have to say they did it well. They'd gone from one wing to the opposite wing and then set Fev up on the lead. Brisbane dropping numbers back in front of Favola, and Carlton thought their way through that situation really well. Now we'll have a look at the grip. Big fella's kicked 5-3.
He's been a forward target this year, an incredible 135 times for Carlton coming into this game, or an average of 13.5 per game. The nearest Cameron Cloak 30, so he is a massive focus for them. 148 now after tonight. 5 goals, 3. The Blues need a steadying influence, and the shootout at the Gabba is taking shape, and Fev's smiling.
Well, Fev's pretty happy, and so he should be, and his teammates really helped him out. It goes from one wing, Armfield across to Simpson. He doesn't take the mark. Cruiser helps out, and Brown's the one who puts it to Fev, who leads into the opposite forward pocket, and Brisbane just haven't got time to get numbers in front of him.
Before tonight, in his last 5 matches at the Gabba, Brendan Favola had contributed 9 goals, 9-16 to be precise.
And the inside 50 targets for the game thus far. And you can see why Brisbane are getting extra numbers back in front of him.
And the way he's going at the moment, he could be looking at double figures. With 6-3 next to his name as the Blues once again go inside 50. McGrath does the spoiling.
Gee, he's hit the ball long and strong tonight. And you can see Michael Voss with a bit of frustration there. Such an important game to both teams. Brisbane win, they go to the halfway break, 7 wins and 4 losses, and as you said, quarters just about can guarantee a finals berth.
A lot of work to do. McGrath, oh, the bare facts. As Betts has a ping towards the goals and kicks a point.
A few cracks appearing in their defence tonight, quarters.
Very cheeky. Tackle from Eddie Betts.
Donald brings it into Harding. Blues largely man on man ahead here, rather than the zoning. Armfield, Stevens trying to bring Gibbs back into it. Fev was a short option. He decided to go along to Garlett. That's going to be awfully difficult. Extra muscle around from the Lions. Notting and Harding. They're not out of trouble yet. Oh, Notting running the gauntlet. McDonald. Notting. Oh, Garlett, that's his specialty. And his forte. Shown again there. Well done, little Garlett's had a quiet night, but it'll all be worth it if he nails it here.
And look at the Carlton players go to Garlett and congratulate him for the effort. And he wrapped the arms up. He wrapped the arms up. That's the perfect tackle. Notting couldn't get an effective handball away. Umpire had to pay the free kick.
Brendan.
So they're making another move here with Daniel Bradshaw. Chris Johnson, the runner. Doesn't look like it at this stage. Let's watch the kick from Garlett. Seems elementary. Is elementary. And the Blues are back to 29 in front.
Great recognition from his teammates. Jeff Garlett for that terrific tackle, which has resulted in a goal.
And look at that, Fev going to him.
29 points, the biggest margin in the match.
Touch player.
Not much right going for the Lions, apart from a couple of cameos from Brennan and Brown. Black, is he pushed in the back? No, umpire let it go. Free kicks in this match, 11 to Carlton and just 4 to the Lions.
He's been good in close, Gibbs.
Kicks though to Power. Goes towards Brown yet again. That was a push. No, umpire said you staged it.
Well, they're not happy, the Brisbane supporters. They thought an in the back to Black and then an in the back to Brown, and umpires having none of it.
That's free. Jump on it.
Riscatelli over the footy. Spills to Murphy. And here's Sherman. Overran it, snared by Johnston. And he finds Henderson, who goes into the pocket. And mark's taken by Proud. He's just having his 6th touch, Rob.
Hasn't had a kick, he's had 5 handballs. One man short on that interchange bench down there, and you would think that Brett Ratton will be trying to take advantage of Brisbane's situation. No Drummond.
Tough kick for Proud. He's made a good fist of it. Just across the face.
I reckon there's going to be a lot more discussion between now and the end of the year and next season about having emergency players to come on. North Melbourne ended with 17 players on the field today.
Yeah, but how often does that happen? Very rarely.
Not to that extreme, but regularly we're seeing teams, 1, 2, 3 players
down. It's part of sport. I mean, sometimes you lose players.
Yeah, no, it's all right. That's just mounting them. I'm not saying one way or the other, but I think if they do it, they should reduce the number of interchange in the first place to 3, and then maybe have 2 players that could come on. Anyway, Murphy off half back, beautifully guided to Fisher, giving to Houlihan, and now Stevens. Plenty of run from behind. On the bounce to centre half forward. Big Hampson down to Judd. Eyes in the back of his head. Gibbs, Brown, pressure from both sides, but he kicked it quickly. Garlett wasn't having any of that one. That was just a little bit too strong for him. Out comes Johnston. Puts on the tackle again. He was ready to pounce, wasn't he? McDonald and Simpson. And right on the edge here, the Lions. 28 points. Sorry, Rob.
Sorry, Hunter. Garlett getting the credits from his teammates for that forward pressure. I like the Carlton ruckman always working for that front position. They're inexperienced, Cruiser and Hampson, but they're just doing the basics, working for the front spot. And if the opposition beat them, they've got to come over the top.
Armfield probing inside the 50 one more time. Out to meet it, Betts. Kept it up. Carazzo sets it high. Will Fev enjoy this? He still might. Favola, the glory boy, puts it through for his 7th.
Good play by Eddie Betts to keep that ball alive. Brendan Favola is hot at the moment. He's kicked 4 against McDonald, 2 against Bradshaw, 1 against Adcock. The 4 against McDonald have all come in this quarter, and Michael Voss has got a decision to make. Does he get Bradshaw back? Does he get Bradshaw back into the back line? He moved him forward to start this 3rd quarter. Bradshaw's kicked the 1 goal, but Feb's kicked 4 up the other end with the new opponent in McDonald.
Brennan forced to do the ruck work there. As the Lions work it inside 50 through Harding. Polkinghorne over to Black, and Black kicks the goal. So they're hanging in there, the Lions. Game far from over, but just a Favola show at the moment. 7 goals.
Now, Brendan Favola's been told don't get too far away from goal. Well, he's certainly not going to do that, hanging back near the goal square, just adjusting a few things.
Carry on. Clark got the tap down to Harding. Sherman, a couple of bounces, and then the nice little dainty pass. That was about 3.5 metres, that pass to Jonathan Brown.
And again, Jonathan will have a shot because he knows he can get the distance. He's been up here for a long time now. And Brownie playing game number 171 for the Lions. I think the good news is he'll be a Lion for life.
By the time he actually marked it, they were almost... You could have high-fived him there. All right, Jonathan Brown on the runway. This is his most important kick of the night so far. No, he just can't get the angles right. Yeah. Free kick going to the Blues. Go away. Good instructions to Jared Brennan. Here's Grigg. He's had the job on Black tonight. Hasn't really been able to constrain him too much. Black with 22 disposals, but I guess most of them have been handballs. Gee, Blackie is very creative by hand. Blues are on the way out. They lead by 28. Little Stephen Brown got himself into trouble. Didn't give up the footy. Houlihan sees off power okay. Armfield. Been a handy player, Rob. He's done well to keep his place in the team.
He's got speed and he's full of zest and courage, his Armfield. His kicking has to get better, but he's something to work with.
This is Bauer. Ooh.
He'll go backwards.
He does. Back to Armfield. Into the middle. That was a little more dangerous than was needed, but it's turned out to be a real positive. Grigg moves with purpose. Off to Stevens, all on his own. Favola wants it long. Stevens to oblige. A few get in the road, but Feverill didn't quite get there. Well done, Henderson. Lending a hand to his mate McDonald, who needs a couple of hands. Didn't have them free there. O'Helpin, that was good play because the Blues could have given that up. Carazzo got Gibbs there waiting at the back. He goes forward instead. High kick to the top of the square. Judd, O'Helpin, Favola, Brennan. They're all flying. The ball refusing to go out. Now it's over.
Garlett's been terrific in this quarter. He's had 3 tackles in that forward 50 for the Blues. Here's another one. And McDonald just throws him to ground. And you've got Eddie Betts, who's up and about. Garlett, it's a pretty lively Carlton front half again. Cruiser in the front spot.
Quick kick. He's rushed through. I think it was Grigg, I think, out of that pack. Was. Rush behind to the Blues. Margin's 29. Brennan over to Adcock, who kicks to a one-on-one. Bradshaw being out-muscled, and that's a great result for Michael Jamison.
Bradshaw just the one disposal in this third quarter, being moved to full forward. That was a goal, but...
would you move him back, Rob?
I would, because I just think that McDonald can't handle Fev. He's had 4 kicked against him in under a quarter.
Here's Garlett coming into the game nicely. Judd. Off to Grigg, who kicks in the Favola direction. Brennan helping out. Favola kicks in danger.
Good idea, though.
Worth a try.
Absolutely.
The interesting thing with that move, Rob, is that I think what the margin at halftime was 12 points, wasn't it? And the second quarter finished okay for Brisbane. So it's not as if they were losing their way.
Yeah, and as we said, there's no Patfull, no Daniel Merritt, so a lot of experience is out of that Brisbane backline. Drummond was injured in the first quarter, won't come back on.
McDonald, Harding, Sheldon. Coming off half back, Travis Johnston trusts the left. And it was a good decision. Black trying to call the traffic tune, getting it long for Brown.
He's a champion, Black, and he just knows where to position the ball to Brownie. They've played together for so long, triple premiership players. And Simon Black's opponent, Grigg, got a few touches in the last few minutes, but you just can't leave him alone.
Nice little whack back on Bauer just to make sure he wasn't going to be a problem.
But a wonderfully weighted kick by Simon Black.
So again we find Jonathan Brown. 1 goal 4. He had that one that didn't make the distance before. Certainly hasn't been his night in front of goal, but this is one he shouldn't miss. He makes it count, and the Lions are still in this contest. Makes for a pretty crucial last couple of minutes of the quarter, doesn't it?
What a champion player Simon Black's been. It's not bad either. Great champion of the game, Simon Black. Set up that goal for Jonathan Brown. Black's up to 23 disposals. Kicked a goal.
Well, he's done it all in his career, Quarters. One of the most decorated players in the game. Brownlow medals, Norm Smith medals.
Brown again goes for it. Thornton goes over the top to Scotland. The Blues run it out of defence. Bauer, good one back to Scotland. Well worked by the Blues. All of a sudden the Bulls in their half-forward line as McGrath fists it away from Betts, and let a throw in.
Jonathan Brown, the only man in Brisbane's forward 50, just stepping out of it now, giving him plenty of space, but he's got 2 opponents, Bauer behind him and Thornton in front.
Simpson wobbles one inside 50, comes to Murphy, and he's hit the post. He's been a few posters tonight. 5 to be precise. 3 to the Lions and 2 to the Blues.
Bossy can see the funny side of it all. Travis Johnston to bring it back in. Margin it stands at 24. What a crucial last couple of minutes of this third quarter. 1 more goal from Brisbane would make Carlton supporters and players, coaching staff alike, pretty nervous going into the last quarter. Of a vocal Gabba crowd. Big crowd tonight. Plenty of Carlton supporters have made the trip. Clark, Rich, running around in circles. No one to go to. Polkinghorne made a timely appearance, and he can send them forward. Brown and Bradshaw lurking. Brown with intent. Armfield gets the full wrath of Jonathan Brown tackle. And he'll know about it.
And Cruiser back there to help out. I just have a feeling that Brett Ratton may have just sent the message out to the big fella to get back and make sure Brown doesn't mark and goal just before the siren.
Almost for Jonathan Brown. This is Murphy for Carlton. Of course, could have been a Lion. Always give him a bit of extra attention because he chose to go to Carlton rather than go to the father-son rule. Rich is involved. Fisher worked his way out of there well. Fisher. Carazzo waited, and then Murphy reappeared. Houlihan can be a sharpshooter, and that was a mighty good kick. Smiles all round for the Blues.
Well, it's a great goal, and it's come at crunch time in this game in the last minute of the third quarter, and it takes the Blues out to a 30-point lead.
Beautiful finish from Ryan Houlihan, and this has really hurt the Brisbane Lions' cause. 30 points the difference as we near three-quarter time. Rich having a pretty ordinary night by his standards so far in his short AFL career. Rich has just had it 8 times, make it 9. He's got some mates tonight.
She's worked hard, Murphy.
Simpson paddling, shakes off an opponent. Got the handball over to Joseph. And Murphy once again. Might be a chance here again for the Blues. Is inside 50, the mark's taken by Hampson.
He can take a good mark, Quarters.
And he's not a bad kick either.
Yeah, I've seen him do this. He is a Queensland boy, been at Carlton a few years now. But he's the future. I think they've got to run with Hampson and Cruiser in the ruck until Robbie Warnock gets himself fit and available.
As the siren sounds, won't make the distance, and at 3/4 time, Carlton with a very handy buffer. 30 points is the margin. 13-13-91, 9-7-61, and the star has been number 25 for the Blues, Brendan Favola, with 7 goals, 3.
Helping at centre-half forward for Carlton. Scotland's gone forward for the Blues. I like that because he's such a creative player.
So all the work ahead of the Lions. The Blues are going to have a rare win interstate tonight by the looks of things.
Don't forget what happened in this game last year, though, Quarters.
Yep.
The Blues came firing home in the last quarter, so maybe they could reverse the roles.
And the ball's still alive. As Power concedes a little bit of ground and finds Brennan, who's been outstanding for Brisbane tonight. Off he goes. A penetrating kick to Brown. He's in front of Thornton. Couldn't quite hang on to the mark. Johnston shrugs the tackle. Dishes off to Black. His kick smothered. Well done by Brown. Johnston has another crack at it. Handballs to the man Robert Walls was talking about, Hooper, who looks for his captain. Sherman, tough kick. And he'll miss everything in the end. It's a free kick to the Blues in the back pocket.
Well, a couple of touches by Hooper and Luke Power, who've been down a bit, so that's a promising start in this final quarter. And now Riscatelli's running with Chris Judd in the midfield.
So Jamison brings it back into play. Good grab from Mitch Clark. And a well-placed kick for Power. Adcock delivers. And a goal here. Just the tonic that Brisbane need early in this last quarter. Brett Ratton will know they cannot afford to ease off. Such a potent forward line when they're all up and running. Here's Luke Power looking for his first goal of the night. And he snaffled it nicely. Still they come.
Well, the Mitch Clark mark was a beauty and immediately played on.
Here's the live ladder as it stands at the moment. The Blues jump up to 4th spot with a very healthy percentage. So they'll swap positions after, if the result goes Carlton's way, which you think it would.
Jonathan Brown is just presenting so well at centre-half forward that if he doesn't mark it, he always causes the ball to spill to the front. And that's where the players like Hooper and Travis Johnson and Luke Power should take advantage of that.
How have you seen the Cruiser-Clark matchup, Rob?
Look, it's been an interesting one. Carlton's had most of the hit-outs, but Brisbane's had the clearances, so it's been a mixed bag.
Black puts it inside 50. Joseph, though, clears for the Blues. Thornton, just a little bit too much on the kick for Grigg. Now Polkinghorne to Brennan. Clever little underground handball to Black. Finds Stiller, back to Brennan, who blazed away.
Just the worry for Brett Ratton is that a few of the Carlton players' tackles in this quarter haven't stuck. And they have to will their way through this last 30 minutes, the young Blues team.
I think Brett Ratton knows it too, doesn't he?
Does.
Oh, well, there's a lot at stake. He'd like to turn the halfway mark in the positive, 6-5.
Jamison, added pressure of the umpire's whistle. Safely to Thornton. He's got Murphy along the line if he wants him very short. He goes for Cruiser and Stevens and Judd. And Cruiser, with good authority, takes the mark.
Look at Fev. He's staying in the forward 50. His opponent's trying to lure him downfield by playing 30 metres in front of him. McDonald, Fev having none of it. He's the man who's kicked 7 goals, and he says, I'm the king of the castle at the moment.
Disposals 20-5 this quarter in favour of the Lions.
Fisher and Cruiser compete against each other. Black just holding sway early in this last quarter. And again, he shows some initiative.
That's a free to Brown.
Yeah.
It's a free to Brown. He was held. Yeah, it's the correct decision by the umpire, and there's a little bit of panic setting in with Carlton. Don't forget their interstate record has been woeful. And, gee, this is such an important kick. If they get 2 goals on the board in the first 5 minutes of this quarter, pressure goes right back onto the Blues. If it's a goal, gee, the next bounce is important. Carlton need to get the ball going their way. I don't think they've had it in their forward 50 in this 4th term. .22 disposals to 6, as Quarters mentioned, so far in this quarter, as Jonathan Brown trots in, and that is that. Through it goes, back to 17.
You're right, Rod. The next set of bounce is enormous, isn't it?
It is. They've just got to get a clearance. They've got to get it moving their way. Inside 50s this quarter, 6-0. That's why this centre bounce is so important. Carlton's just got to get the ball going their way. Disposals dominated by Brisbane. If we get another goal, and that man there, Simon Black, he set so much up. Another quick goal to Brisbane, and it's panic stations for the Blues.
Clark the tap. Gibbs tried to bust his way through. Did a pretty good job of it too. But Brennan, who's been excellent, fired it out to Sheldon, to Sherman, back to Brennan, who just kicks more in hope than anything else to half forward. Hooper's outnumbered there. Joseph attacks it. Hooper has a crack. Spills to Bauer, and the Blues away. They're going to get it inside 50 here. It's a good kick too. Out towards Garland, who takes the diving mark.
Cruiser back in the goal square. Fev in front of him. And Cruiser's marked pretty well in this game.
Well, he's told to go. So kicks to the tip of the goal square for Vola, flew high. It's through for a rush behind.
Interesting, Rob, that Brennan started in the centre square and that last ball up, even though he's not in the ruck at the moment. So he's got the touch, hasn't he? And he's been a good player tonight with the 4 goals and the 22 disposals. They want him in the thick of the action. They love this man getting the footy too. Rich from the side, Kane Brown. He sees him off okay. Long bomb, not exactly where he wanted it. But Jonathan Brown's still a chance. Thornton will be a little bit nervous. Oh, he took it over. Oh, it was line ball.
Well, Rich had it lined up to kick to Bradshaw, but unfortunately Bradshaw slipped at the crucial moment, so he had to hold the ball up. That's what happened with Rich's kick there.
Hampson comes late with the tap. Proud had a moment. Rich is Proud. Oh, Judd, a little more sure of himself off the little Stephen Brown. Danger hasn't passed yet. Judd tries to bulldoze his way through. Armfield. Oh, gone. No Pryor.
Oh,
that's deliberate. He did have players around him, and that's why the umpire's going to say that it's a throw in, because
they're going off their head, the Brisbane supporters.
That should have been a free kick to Brisbane.
Brennan doing the ruck work, and he's
In his back.
free kick to Luke Power. That'll get the locals happy.
Well, Hampson did the ruck work against Brendan Hampson, hit it straight down the throat of a line. Well, we said at three-quarter time Luke Power needed to lift.
That's the free kick. Just forward momentum costing Armfield there. So Luke Power with 3 goals separating these two sides. He's worked it back beautifully, and the Gabba has come to life, and so have the Lions.
In a row is Brisbane's best streak in this match, and the Gabba has come alive. It's the Blues by just 2 goals.
Well, they can't get it to Fev. That's the worry. He's got 7 goals in the bag. Riscatelli, Mitch Clark in the ruck, Simon Black at ground level, and also Jared Brennan. So they've got the big guns there.
Power to Black. Now Sherman. Riscatelli back to Sherman. This will bring the house down. Oh, the Brisbane Lions are coming hard.
Well, Sherman...
This game can turn so quickly, Robert Wills.
The thing about Sherman, he's just rip and tear the way that he plays. He gets it or he doesn't. But when he gets it, he's got that much momentum up. And he features in a couple of plays here. There's the first one, just brushes through 3 Carlton players, continues the run. They can't catch him. Mongrel off the boot, doesn't matter, puts it through. And he is an explosive type of player. He doesn't have to get a lot of disposals to be a real impact player. And that is a real lifter. But the worry again is that he got through 3 Carlton players. The Carlton tackling in this final quarter has been really disappointing.
Oh, the crowd right involved. They're surging again. Riscatelli, deep. Bradshaw, Jamison did well. Pressure building here on the Blues defence. Rich, scores will be level if they can kick a goal here. Riscatelli, just for a moment he had an opportunity, and that's great. Digging deep by the Blues. Grigg initially, then Hampson, and then Judd. They go forward. That's been rare. Favola's got 2 to combat. He sees off 1. He can't see off the other. McGrath. Confronted by Cruiser, clears the space. Little Garlett sneaks in. Handball in hope, really, to no one. Adcock might have bitten off more he could chew. Oh boy, no leniency at all, no advantage. As Judd rambled through for a goal, it's got to come back.
Yeah, and a bit of Carlton tackle, and this bloke is playing his heart out. He's had the ball in the defensive 50, ran through the midfield and had a bounce, did Chris Judd, and now he's busting his backside in the forward 50. And you just need a few of his mates to lift.
So it's going to come back to Corazzo, who's never been a massive goal kicker. 22 goals in 86 games. 2 goals, 1 for the year. Crowd trying to make him more nervous. The moment has arrived for Andrew Corazzo, and he has worked it home for a goal. And the Blues show a bit of spine. Umpire ruling that he took him on, but boy, was it poor opportunity, Rob?
Touch and go, wasn't it? And we've seen a lot of those be let go in the last 3 weeks. They haven't been paying as many free kicks as they have.
Look, in the replay shows Carlton were a little fortunate to get that free kick, but Corazzo made the most of it. And the margin is back to 12.
Free kick count, 13 Carlton, 7 Brisbane. Clark the tap. Riscatelli,
he's been
coming, coming into the game, kick smothered. Oh, beautifully worked by Gibbs as he puts the Blues inside 50. Henderson missed the mark. Adcock. Handball out. Good forward pressure from the Blues. Oh, Black comes in from nowhere.
Ducked his head.
Black just threw it over the head. The Hail Mary.
Carlton's tackling's been better in their forward line than their back line.
Brown to Stevens to Scotland on an unkind bounce. Blues persisting. It's a free kick Carlton's way. It's going to Carazzo, who kicks into the pocket. Fisher, soccer off the ground, but to no effect as the Lions come away with the footy. Johnston, have to be a good kick here. Brown sets himself. Well done by his namesake for Carlton, who stood his ground. Coming in hard is Polkinghorne. Not a lot on offer. Quick hands, ends up with Proud. Now Black will receive, but he's got nothing to kick too long, so he's forced to go short to Adcock,
who looks up and also sees a fairly vacant 50. Bradshaw's down there. Brown nowhere to be seen. Bradshaw's held for a moment. Now he's going to get into the contest. Power waits at the ground level. Everyone else was up. Power was down. He's onto it, and they're onto him. Armfield tucks it under the arm. Good old-fashioned 70s style. Bursts away. Kicks to the wing to Cruiser, who has to get down and dirty. Handballs to the other giant in the Carlton team. Look at the big man go. Hampson long for Vola. No, not yet at least. Now he wants the free and he's going to get it.
Good play by Hampson, wasn't it? The ruckman, the run of ruckman, the two big ruckmen actually. Cruiser running off for a spell. And he got the handball across to Hampson. It was the good play by Hampson because he's just run and kicked it. A 70-metre play that put Favola in the thick of it.
Again, it was at 50, 53. He should have taken the mark, looking at the replay.
He should have taken the mark, but he's hot, so get it to him as quick as you can.
He's certainly hot. 7 goals for Brendan Favola. Carlton lead by 12. He's hot and getting hotter.
The official crowd attendance for tonight's game, 33,790.
Bit of banter between Favola and McDonald. McDonald saying you were lucky.
And Fev says, well, I've got 5 on you in a quarter and a half.
He's kicked 8, which is his career best for the 8th time, Rob.
Well, let's hope he can get 9.
Rich, just a little toe poke. And he'll have another crack at it here as he pumps it long. Bradshaw, one out. He's being held. Free kick. It's a goal anyway. Went through for a goal.
Okay, through for a goal. Okay, all clear.
A goal to Daniel Rich. And a quick reply from Brisbane. It's back to 2 goals.
Yes, and Daniel Rich has come into it in this quarter. Luke Power has come into it.
Who's holding who?
Yeah, that's a good question. Who's holding who in that situation? Fortunately, it doesn't matter because
that's Jamison's problem. He was facing away from the ball initially.
Well, Jamison's jumper's being held, but
Didn't matter in the end because it went through.
and that's why it's a good result. It's a good effort by Daniel Rich because he's probably had his leanest first 3 quarters of a game, and yet with the pressure on, he's responded in the last quarter.
Power. Gives it off to Henderson. 5 minutes to go. Plenty of time for the Lions. McDonald gives it to the run of Johnston, who pumps it long to Brown. 1 out. Can he get there? He got his hands on the footy. Polkinghorne's there. He can't get it. He keeps his feet. Now Brown into the picture. Backed himself. Run down by Bradshaw. Some tired bodies out there now.
Got numbers back, the Blues.
Scotland. Rich in front of Murphy, and Murphy does the right thing and knocks it over the line.
Bauer coming back to help out.
Missed him.
He's missed Brown and cleaned up Thornton, but good to see the effort made, the pack jump.
It's going to be some tense decisions, isn't it? The ball keeps going forward to Brown when they 2 or 3 on him.
Another clearance. They're just dominating the clearances in this final term.
Proud. Kicks to Bradshaw, who's not without a chance from here.
No, he's kicked plenty from that distance before.
Doesn't like his chances by looking. He's trying to handball it off.
Well, he should go back because he's kicked plenty from here over his career.
Cruiser getting down in the goal square. Carlton need a big man on the line.
Bradshaw loads up. It's coming back. It's a goal.
The Brisbane Lions and the Gabba remind patrons that the centre area will be fenced off after the match.
Here's Fev and Mitch Clark before, as the ball was at the other end of the ground. Favola probably needs to conserve his energy a bit.
Well, he'll get a chance to have a spell when he goes to the goal square, but the ruckman won't.
That's a good point.
So just monster the ruckman, Fev.
Back to 7 points at the Gabba. Brendan Favola, 8 goals. Will it be enough?
Brisbane have kicked 10 goals in this second half. Rain coming down, the heaviest it's been. They've kicked 10 goals in the second half, Brisbane, after only having 5 till half-time.
Clearances 11-3 in Brisbane's favour this term.
Carlton get this one. It's all important. But for how long? Travis Johnston wades through. Opens for O'Halpin in his milestone game. Who else but Christian?
And you can see the rain coming down and the Carlton supporters ecstatic. The skipper puts it through. Well done to the Irishman. And good pressure on Travis Johnson. He coughs it up. I'm really glad O'Halpin had the smarts to give it to the skipper. Now, does the coach put numbers back? Decision time for Brett Ratton. Rain coming down heavily. 13 points in front. Does he put numbers back and just clog the game up? There must only be 3-4 minutes to go.
Carlton get possession. Good handball. Finds Murphy. They can ice the game here if Favola can take a mark. Can't. It's into the pocket. Oh, and the ball's still alive, and it's a point to Gabba. So the Lions need 3 goals in pretty much 3 minutes to steal the game.
Luke Power with 10 disposals for this last quarter. He and Simon Black trying to get that midfield pumping along with Rich and the likes of Adcock. Nice little blind turn. They're not giving up yet. Harding for Brown one more time. Well done, Thornton. But Black knew where the footy was going. It's touch, so it's still alive here. Sherman, play on. Crowd not happy, but Greg clears. And Stevens, it's decision time for him. He might decide just to go. No, he doesn't go backwards. Thought he probably should have then, Rob. He had some teammates behind him, but easy from here.
Yeah, it was an awkward one. He really had no one to kick forward within 30 or 40 metres. He tried to unload the big bomb to Fev. He was going for a 60-metre kick in the wind-up that enabled his opponent to smother it.
Rain still coming down. Carlton one straight kick away from victory. They lead by 14. They're happy just to gain the yardage. Scotland with a nice little push. Betts back for Murphy. Fev's going to be there again, waiting at the back. It falls for him. He's had an unbelievable night, but that's not going to be a goal. The Irishman flies. It comes back to Fev. McDonald, Clark, and the Lions going for broke. They've got no other choice, Quarters.
Big torpedoes marked by Bradshaw. One out is Brown with Thornton. Not the best of kicks from Bradshaw. Brown's there, shrugs the Thornton tackle. Have to kick a miracle goal here, Brown. He's made a good fist of it.
Oh. Had a couple of teammates calling for the ball in the middle, but
3 goals, 5 to Brown, and 1 complete miss.
As the captain, Rob, I guess he felt that he had to go for it.
Oh, he was entitled to go for it, Hutto. Absolutely. He would have got that 50% of the time. He had to go for it. And Carlton, if they can just slow this game down, keep possession, let the clock tick by. As you say, Brisbane's got to kick 3 goals in these slippery conditions.
Oh, gee.
Thought might give you a chance.
They can see the finish line, the Blues, but the Lions are going to make them work all the way down that straight. And Jonathan Brown, who's had a mixed bag tonight, 3 goals, 5 and a couple of other misses, has another chance.
How many times do you see the combo Brown receiving from Black?
33 disposals for Simon Black tonight. Jonathan Brown, 13 marks. And 4 goals. Still a heartbeat for the Lions, only 7 in it. So, is there time for Brisbane, and what will Carlton's response be, Wolsey?
Well, let's wait and see. If they put extra numbers back, you'd have to be tempted to. And just play possession, keep it wide.
They've got a 3-man forward line, Carlton, at the moment. So there'll be numbers in the midfield and numbers in defence, you would think.
They've got 8 players in defence. O'Halpin's been told to go back there. So Carlton have got extra numbers back. O'Halpin's the spare man in the back line. And Eddie Betts has been told to get... You'll see Eddie running down. Fev's come up. He's gone out of the 50 for probably the first time tonight.
Clark tries to smash it forward, but nothing but fresh air. Judd's been superb. Kicks a high ball to the 50. Scotland's got to beat a couple. He smashes it forward, but gathered for the Lions by Sheldon. Now, what's McDonald going to do? He goes wide.
He's got to keep moving at Brisbane.
McGrath. Chips to Rich. He has not been given the mark. He keeps the footy alive. Now Brisbane in the midfield. Power kicks right into the middle to Clark, who kicks a long ball. Brown's got to beat a couple. He's shepherded out of the contest. Riscatelli attacks it. Riscatelli snaps it, goal. It's into the goal square. No, it's not going to drop a bit short. Brown attacks it again. Little soccer off the ground. There's the siren. It's a point, and Carlton have won by a goal in a fantastic match at the Gabba.
Another Saturday night special.
Well, what an unbelievable game.